I want to take a moment amid all of this coverage of this disaster to remember the 5 people that we lost today on the Titan submersible. They were exploring the RMS Titanic shipwreck, and those who knew them said that they each shared a love of exploration and of adventure. Stockton Rush was the CEO and the founder of OceanGate Expeditions. Before diving to the lowest depths of the ocean, he began his career in the sky as a flight test engineer, even dreaming of becoming the first man on Mars. When he later decided that the future of mankind is actually underwater instead of in the sky, he gained a reputation as a visionary and as a modern-day Jacques Cousteau. Stockton was also married to Wendy Rush, the great-great-granddaughter of a couple who died on the RMS Titanic. He leaves behind Wendy and their 2 children. Friends of 58-year-old Hamish Harding describe him as a charming guy who is attracted to extreme adventures. The British billionaire was the founder of Action Aviation, a Dubai-based brokerage company. But he had a passion for daring escapades, including trips to the South Pole. And last June, he was one of 6 people on the Jeff Bezos-owned Blue Origin mission, again, exploring space. Harding holds 3 Guinness World Records, including the longest time spent at full ocean depth. His last text to a friend was, "Hey, we're headed out tomorrow. It looks good. The weather's been bad." Paul-Henri Nargeolet was known as PH to his friends and his colleagues. He was 77 years old. He was a French explorer, often referred to as Mr. Titanic because of his expertise and for the more than 35 dives that he did to that shipwreck. He was also the director of a company that salvages artifacts from that site of the Titanic. His family released this statement. He is a man who will be remembered as one of the greatest deep-sea explorers in modern history. When you think of the Titanic and all we know about the ship today, you will think of Paul-Henri Nargeolet and his legendary work. But what we will remember him most for is his big heart, his incredible sense of humor, and how much he loved his family. Prominent businessman Shahzada Dawood and his 19-year-old son, Suleman. They were described by friends as, quote, lovers of science and discovery and adventures. The teenager had just finished his first year as a business student. He played volleyball and had a passion for solving Rubik's Cubes. Those close to his father said that he adored Star Wars and Star Trek and nature photography. And on a Facebook post showing a trip to Iceland, Shahzada quoted the movie Lord of the Rings and writes, "Don't adventures ever have an end? I suppose not. Someone else always has to carry on the story." Rest in peace to all 5 who are lost. We're going to continue to follow this story because, as we've been talking about tonight, there is more to learn, because from tragedy can emerge triumph. And as some guests alluded to, we can all be the better for what happened underwater. We can learn, we can be stronger, and explore more. Thanks for being here tonight. Cuomo's up next. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.